This is a Hot Pie Original.
There's multiple levels to this. I'm going to dump a lot on you. And I'm going to say that political imaging matters more now than ever. You got to think that through. Think like a marketer, for example. Now, there's marketers in the real world. For those that don't know, for a long, long time, I've taught marketing and advertising. But there's the real world of real money and real business. And then there's politics. And politics is completely a cesspool compared to every other industry. There's very few rules which you would follow as a business person that you would follow in politics. You can get away with stuff in politics that you'd never be able to pull off in a conference room. A client would fire you in a heartbeat. So, there's levels to this, but you have to think like a promoter, think like a marketer in the political world. And I'm going to submit that I think that whole imaging thing, I'm not going to say optics, I'm going to say imaging. I think it matters more now than ever before. I think it might be the single most important thing you can do politically, more than ever. And that doesn't matter what letter is next to your name. I think that is the case. I think that's proven to be the case. And I think it's more so the case. And that is, well, Jeff, where are you coming from on this? The days of, I'm trying to think of famous moments when somebody taught policy and it backfired, but the days of, read my lips, no more taxes or something. The days that somebody held somebody in office accountable for some comment or promise, I think are gone. It doesn't matter what you really do. It doesn't matter. The image is everything. It's everything. Politics is a Kardashian-like reality show. And that's not just because of Donald Trump. Let that sink in. There's a point to all of this. A pretty fascinating point once you get past scratching your head and thinking, where's this really going? Defunding the police, not cool. Defunding the legislature, very cool. I've always wanted this experiment to take place, and that is, if you cut the salary of every member of Congress by 50%, what percentage of members of Congress would quit? Now think about that. What do you think? I'll say less than 10%. I think that number is probably in the single digits at best. Think about it. If you cut their pay by 50%, what percentage would quit? You do know that I believe the number on average is that the net worth of someone in Congress, they appreciate by upwards of 25% while they're in office. So cut their pay by 50%, what percentage quit? You ramp that up to 75%. You cut their pay by 75%, what percentage would quit? I'll say easily less than 15, most likely less than 10, maybe lower than that. You cut their pay to $1. Hell, I don't care, 50-cent piece. It doesn't matter. What percentage would quit? Greg Abbott, I have to say, may be putting my experiment to the test. In his quest for Fox News mentions and imaging, then he may be putting this whole experiment, this Jeff Ward experiment, to the test. So at some point, the focus group, as most of you now, you got to, again, think in terms of you're a marketer. At some point, the focus group seems to have mentioned to Greg Abbott. No, just dictated to Greg Abbott, the focus group. That's exactly what I said, because I think everything is imaging. That's it. That's it. I even think in some cases, I'll give you an example of Abbott, but there's plenty of others. I think in some cases, the candidate's saying, I can't do that. And I think they're saying, it doesn't matter what you do. Just let them feel it. Let them think it. I really think they're probably candidates. I know they're trash. I know that. I know they're slimy human beings, and it's a horrible industry, and you should despise them. But I'll bet you even in circumstances in which the candidate says, and Abbott probably has done this, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, at some point, Greg Abbott said, I can't do that. And then the team says, you want to win? Then do it. But I can't. Doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter, boss. I'm telling you, trust us on this. Trust us. It doesn't matter. Say it, let them feel it, and you're fine. So I'm guessing the focus group, and I'm sure this came out of You could probably just take some of the clips of a Trump-like focus group and you're going to take the same things out of it. The focus group probably said, regardless of his job description, which is a relatively weak job description, and it's a very weak job description. The irony is the two states of the two guys running, wanting to be the next president, it seems, are two of the weakest governor positions in the country, Texas and Florida. But regardless of job description, I'm guessing out of the focus group came words like strong, tough, hold them accountable, say what's on your mind, fight back, stuff like that. I mean, I bet they were consistently that. Right? Now, it's important to understand those words because I think that's everything driving, certainly him. In other words, coming out of a focus group for Greg Abbott, and they probably remind him this every single day because his marketing team seems to be relentless. They say to him, look, act like a smarter, less unhinged version of Donald Trump and put the cowboy hat in the background. Image, boss, image, image, image. Hey, every guy can relate to this. You're tired of wearing those baggy cotton shirts that feel like you're wearing curtains. There's a difference. In fact, I'm wearing the difference. That is the ultra premium basics from goodlifeclothing.com. You'll love the shirts. I've been searching for a long time, like every guy, for the perfect lightweight shirt that looks good if you're in pretty good shape. It's at goodlifeclothing.com. Check them out. You'll see the difference for yourself. You'll feel the difference for yourself. It's the perfect shirt for this time of year in Austin, Texas. So, two things. Go to goodlifeclothing.com. You get a 20% discount if you enter the promo code JeffWard20. That's goodlifeclothing.com. Enter the promo code JeffWard20 or stop by their store domain Northside. You'll love the difference. You'll feel the difference. It's the perfect fit for a guy that's in good shape. It's goodlifeclothing.com, promo code JeffWard20, or stop by their brand new store at Domain Northside. So his marketing team, honestly, seems to be relentless, pretty brilliant and fearless. I mean, they got him doing stuff that he can't do, and it doesn't matter. I know he's got to look around and say, are you kidding me? I can't do that. And they say, don't worry. Nothing matters but what they think and feel. So here he goes. Notice, if you want to see a key, I think, to all of this, I think if you want to see a key to the imaging, I think if you want to see a key to how anybody is operating, notice the first person mentions. I bet you somebody who's really bored trying to get a grant at some state university, I bet you somebody who's really bored could go back and take candidate Greg Abbott over all the years that he's run in office and quantify the number of times he now says I. I'll bet you I is outpacing previous first person mentions by 1,000 to 1. I can do that. I won't stand for it. I. Take a look. Listen sometime. Notice it was the genius. Trump's, he doesn't plan anything, but it was the genius. He proved that first person, the public wants, how do I say this politely? You'd like a dictator. You'd like to feel like that person is in total control and they are running everything. You want to feel that way. It doesn't matter if they really do it. You just need him to sound like he's doing it. And so Greg Abbott is I am going to do that. I'm going to defund the legislature. I am going to clamp down on this. I'm going to save the border. I. That's what you want. So there is no breathing room for a political competitor at this point with Greg Abbott. There really is not. His marketing team, I don't know how they keep coming up with stuff. It's pretty remarkable. I don't know what they're going to come up with tomorrow. It's got to be some other thing where he says, I fixed it. I'll stop them. It's going to be aliens. We're going to get the aliens. I really think Greg Abbott is going to start talking about aliens pretty soon. And when he does it, it has to be first person. Everything has to be first person. That's the success now. I'm going to fix this for you, Grandma. Aliens, I'll get them, Grandma. So I don't know how Beto O'Rourke or Wooderson has any chance whatsoever. The man does not give, his marketing team will not give you any breathing room to get any mentions. You never get to say I. Even McConaughey can't do I'll fix. He can't get any breathing room either. So now he's going to defund the legislature, which is pretty interesting. You might ask, why is he doing that? He can't probably do that. Doesn't matter. Remember, doesn't matter. doesn't matter what you can do. It doesn't matter what you do accomplish. What matters is the imaging. And he's got it. I mean, I don't know how many people care about this. I don't think you do. The lawmakers in the state are paid $600 a month in addition to their per diem of $221 every day the legislature is in session during both regular and special sessions. That's $599 too much, some would say. But that's what they get paid. I mean, yeah, there's people that have argued if they were paid better, then they would be better. Oh, shut up. Pay them $0 and they'd still show up and do the same stuff. Make them pay to come here. They'd still probably show up and do the same stuff. So now Greg Abbott has followed through over the weekend on the threat to veto a section of the state budget that funds the Texas legislature, its staffers and legislative agencies. Now, in a weird way, he's putting my experiment to the test. If they just cut their pay, how many quit? None. None are going to quit. Can he really do this? Probably not, but it doesn't matter. Think about that. Defund the police, not cool. Defund the legislature, pretty cool. The main thing is he keeps whatever the situation, whatever the issue, he gets to take that sheet of paper, that proclamation up and say, I did this. I. And he's doing it over and over again. So now he is, in essence, defunding the legislature because the Democrats walked off their job, which is true. They did. They got all huffy and said, we're not going to show up today. We don't like it. That's all they're left with. Tell me he doesn't have the power here. Tell me he doesn't have the imaging. Tell me he's not going to win. He's going to win easily. He's monopolized the mentions. So here comes the fight now, and it's exactly what his marketing team wants. The more pushback he will get from the Democrats, the more he can say, I got you. I fixed the problem. I will make sure that if you don't show up for work, I'm going to make sure you don't get paid. And then that's all grandma needs to hear. House Democratic Caucus Chair Chris Turner. Nice try, Chris. This is where Chris goes. Of Grand Prairie called the move by Abbott an abuse of power. He said the caucus is exploring every option, including immediate legal options, to fight back. Texas has a governor, not a dictator. Chris, you're wrong. You're wrong about that, bud. Now, by law, we don't have a dictator, but by image, he needs to be a dictator. The image Chris, the voter, wants is a dictator. Maybe a little dramatic, but the voter of Texas wants a dictator. The voter of Texas wants a Texas version of Vlad Putin. That's what wins. That's what the voter wants. You want a Texas version of Vlad Putin. Now, I don't think for a second that Greg Abbott is going to have his opponents killed. I'm not going that far yet. I have gone alien on you. But sorry, Chris. Sorry, dude who's got no chance. Every time you push back, it fits in exactly when you say we don't have a dictator. Yes, we don't have a dictator, but the voter wants a dictator.